All right.
Just got put together.
It almost looks like an optical illusion how much bigger I look than you today. Oh, I didn't know you were here. You had to do what?
Take a piss.
Oh, okay. Well,
You take a shit on the seat, did you?
not like you had hours to do that. Rico, I heard you're not a suspect at all in Shitgate. Yeah, you were still calling around checking to make sure you weren't a suspect.
I didn't want to spend I wanted to get the end of the book without reading it.
You're paranoid.
Nope. I wanted to get the end of the book without reading it. It's very simple.
The act coming up at 1 o'clock.
You
We
never
have
like the Choose Your Own Adventure books?
What?
You never like Choose Your Own Adventure?
I usually die,
Don't we all?
especially here.
that's I can just see that as a kid. He's every Choose Your Own Adventure. He just tries to think of the most outlandish ways that Rico gets killed.
Yeah, it's like Kenny from South Park.
So the yak at 1 o'clock. I understand we have. I don't think this is a spoiler when I say we've narrowed it down to. We have 7 suspects. TJ, is that correct?
That's correct.
That is sayable. I can say that.
Yep.
We do have one. Am I saying anything I shouldn't say?
I would just say if you tune to
Save
the
it for
act,
the
justice will be served,
Justice will
or
be
at
served.
least attempt to serve
Right.
justice.
There will be. It will be adjudicated. It will be tried on the yak.
Yes,
Okay. All right.
we pulled the tapes.
Probably the biggest court decision of the week, I would say. So
Just was never mind. I was just thinking politics that I'm not going to bring up here, but
what?
exactly. Fair enough.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah.
I was just very happy that I did not use that bathroom yesterday.
Yeah, I got lucky. Dodged a bullet on that one.
And honestly, I really don't use that one very often at all. But once I found out it was that one, I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
'cause
I don't think it's a good
they
spot
love,
to use.
anytime there's poops,
If somebody's
farts,
outside, they're knocking, then they see you. You get the stench.
I think it's
area.
the key is you got to stay in there for a little bit after it's done and let the don't knock somebody down when you come out. You just gotta take care of yourself on the back end.
poops and farts. They love to point at the fat guy. They love to.
Love to.
That's why I was ecstatic when I found out it was that bathroom.
And Smitty, you weren't here
No, I
yesterday.
didn't use it.
I was not. I was stranded in Philadelphia.
Sounds like a very sad.
It's usually great, but when there are power lines down left and right.
I want to
all
shout
around
out.
New York, and you guys can't, I mean, where's the unions here? You can't, go out, clear some lines.
No, we got Jersey Jerry on salary here now. He
Yeah.
can't even fix anything for us.
Killed the unions.
So this weekend, huge moment for Barstool, huge moment in the fight game. Got a Canelo fight out in Vegas. Canelo, a huge fight, and DAZN will have it, and Barstool will be on the call. It'll be Dave and Dan and Robbie Foxx, and I'm sure there will also be a number of Barstool. I think Ron's going. I think there will be a number of Barstool personalities out there.
Marge is going to be a part of it.
Adding to the flavor. So yeah, it's as I think one of the low key, most underappreciated things. People like Rough and Rowdy, but I don't know that the commentary and the humor of the commentary gets as much shine as it ought to, because it's really fucking great.
I honestly
really
just feel
great.
like it's not getting enough buzz. I just think this is a massive deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Like being ringside, calling like the pound for pound greatest boxer on planet Earth, like calling his fight and it's his first fight in a while where he like legitimately could lose. He's the smallest favorite he's been in years. He's going up big time, like fighting a much bigger guy. It's a huge on Cinco de Mayo. He's the Mexican champ. Like it's a huge deal.
That is in fact this weekend. So tune in to that.
One other thing on that note, the Barstool Sportsbook has a promo where if you sign up, you put $20 on Canelo and he wins, you get $200 free. So pretty sweet promo we're going to do.
Thank you very much. I know that you don't do this intentionally, Smitty. I really know that. But it is starting to look like you're coming in the day after the Sixers game no matter what.
Like I said, I was stranded at 30th Street Station yesterday. I had the opportunity to bus up here. Thank you very much, Amtrak, and be here by 2 o'clock.
By the way, 30th Street Station, shockingly nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Really enjoyable place to be.
I've been there a lot of times.
I didn't get stranded there, but I had like a 45-minute between my arriving there and my train. Just a nice place to sit.
Yeah.
Good food all over the place.
Yeah, really
Pleasant.
really pleasant place.
Penn Station and Grand Central used to be pleasant.
If you find the right corner of Penn Station, you can
Generations.
still find pleasantness. If you find the right corner, but getting to that corner is
Grand
rough.
Central's nicer,
I haven't been to Grand Central.
much nicer.
I've been around it,
Hmm.
but I've never been into it.
Very old money-ish.
yeah.
Surprised you don't just go in there and just, are in awe of.
Why would I be? I'm not searching for old money.
No, just go in there and just like, oh, I've never seen. So you would be looking at it like the Sistine Chapel because this is a very architecturally beautiful building.
Well, I might go see it one day.
An Apple store in there.
Yeah, I mean, what's
What did that add?
Yeah,
There's money in there.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
what's the
I
tallest?
got my phone fixed there once.
Yeah, what's the tallest shack in Mississippi? Is there anything like above 4 stories?
I would say the tallest building in Mississippi. I'm guessing.
Many.
Exactly.
There aren't many. It's got to be casino, maybe.
Or do you-
Rivage, maybe?
Casino's the
Like,
biggest.
like
25 or 30 stories, maybe.
the mayor's house.
I would say Jackson has a couple buildings that are probably 25
A
or
little
30
bit.
stories.
Okay.
And the
Great.
casinos on the coast aren't that tall. The one in Philadelphia is pretty tall. The,
Yeah.
the
You know what I want to
Golden
do?
Moon. Silver
Golden Moon's tall.
Before I die, I want to take a riverboat casino.
Riverboat gambling trip.
Yeah, right down the Mississippi.
Can you do that?
I thought
Most
so.
of them are.
Their boats on the water.
They're parked.
Oh, they
They
are.
don't move.
Yeah.
To be
That'll
honest,
be cool.
to me that was always just a quote in Step Brothers. I never like considered that it's like a real thing.
What?
Like he's like Riverboat gambling trips. Like talk about pussy.
Yeah.
And I just like the Riverboat gambling trip. It's just funny to say out loud, but I never really processed like that's like a real.
I think they used to be a thing, but now that's how they get around state laws in some places. Like when we went out, hell, the one in Council Bluffs, Iowa, is on the water. Like,
Yeah, the Mayor Star. We
yeah,
stayed
it's just
for
it's
Omaha.
float. The casino, the hotel's built in.
Yeah.
The casino's floating.
The Mayor Star, Vicksburg,
Why
Mississippi.
can't we do that? Just have like a Barstool.
In the Hudson?
boat. No, just a Barstool boat in the Hudson. Go to Jersey where it's legal. Take it out to international waters. Have like monkey knife fights.
Okay, I think you were on track for a good idea,
I
but
am. I'm going to talk to
I
Wes.
think you went a little far with the monkey knife fights.
The Simpsons quote, but
I understand.
How about this one?
Idiot.
Mincy, you're the poker guy. Riverboat gambling starts at.
Wow.
yeah,
Shots fired at
just-
Smitty.
You got to include everybody. Smitty, I
But you
apologize.
didn't include everybody. That's the point.
Poker guy as well. He's played professionally. Have you played professionally?
Yeah, for 3
Okay,
years.
got it. All right, all right. Brandon, why do you got like
I knew
a
that.
loose thing?
It wasn't just me.
Like, yes.
All right, whatever. You start at one end of the water and you do a poker tournament, and as you lose, they throw you in the water.
Oh, okay.
That's Maverick. That
like
happened in
that.
Maverick.
That'd be funny.
You would be a Mel Gibson supporter.
Really
4 tables,
Oh, no.
whatever it is. As you lose, you just get thrown off.
really underrated 90s movie there.
Yeah, my point exactly.
Maverick's good. I'm sorry. The Patriot's
I love
good. He's got good movies. What do you want me to say? Man doesn't have good movies?
Apparently he does.
He makes some big hands in Maverick. I'll tell you, man. That straight flush gets the 4 aces.
Fucking movie, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Is Oh Brother Where Art Thou a good movie?
Love
It's
it.
fantastic.
Fantastic. I
Really?
will fight.
All right, 'cause
I
it-
will fight
All right,
hard
it's
for a
fine.
brother.
It came on after Better Call Saul last night. I had never watched it. I'm like, you know what? I taped it.
It's great.
Yeah, I taped it.
amazing.
Brothers is a good movie.
Still a taper, huh?
Oh, brother. What?
Yes.
Well, DVR.
Yeah, I know.
Taped it.
Taped it. I'm old enough to say taped it.
I'm very curious to hear what you think of it.
Time. Did you record the TV version?
Yeah.
Why don't you just watch it?
Just
Watch it on streaming somewhere. It's probably streaming on 90 different.
He's watching the
I
AFC
forget my
commercials.
He's in a tight spot.
He's
Brandon.
the
I forget
promos
my
for Walking Dead.
login, and then I have to do a password fucking verification. That's a whole fucking act. So,
He's in a tight spot.
am I missing any, like, am I missing
Y'all,
anything?
you might be too young. Did y'all live through the DVD collection phase?
Oh yeah.
Where early 2000s you just had you had 200 DVDs.
Right, so we had
Now they're useless.
When I was a kid, we were watching VHSs.
we had a cabinet of VHSs that were just ripped from TV.
That's right. Yeah. And just written on there. Yeah.
Same with home movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It
you
was
never knew
right,
what you
like-
were watching, really. I mean, it was,
Snug Harbor vs. Great
Yeah.
Kills 2000 / AAU tournament / communion party. Like, that was a VHS.
The greatest we had, like my brother's like 5th grade basketball championship just cut straight out by Days of Our Lives.
That was the thing. You
So
had
it's the wild card.
like, people found out about it late. You had to, like, click the thing that you couldn't tape over it. But I've taped over some family.
You know,
Excuse me, all my children. Days of Our Lives.
you mentioned The Simpsons earlier, but that's how I watched The Simpsons in the early 90s. I didn't have Fox at my house. I had 3 channels, not 4. And and Baron Davis would record them for me, and he would give me the tape like after a month. So I'd have 4 Simpsons. That's how I saw Flaming Moe's for the first time. I had a tape with Flaming Moe's on it.
I have a VHS tape with every single Simpsons Halloween episode until like season 20 on it.
Brandon, you would have been really proud of me when I was 15. I had a wrestling tape VHS collection. You would have liked me a lot more for.
Yeah, I
And I had a
those,
sick one. I even had some Japan stuff. I mean,
Oh.
I was like
You're
my
a tape trader.
I was tape trader. My mom used to. She had some thoughts on it, but it was a whole thing.
Never got into tape trading. I did, I bought the WWF releases, but I never had like ECW or
I was into it.
never had any of that.
I wish more of those tape people got to YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, like,
What's the equivalent now of tape trading? Like you don't have to trade. You don't have to.
No, but I'm just saying more obscure shit. You know what I mean? Like I would have loved to see, I don't know, Barry Sanders interviews in high school. You know what I mean? Or like whatever people that you only would have got on tape, like rare.
Fuck to Zah. He was the DVD master at his day.
I'm just saying rare sports shit. That's all.
Right, Zah?
Porn, yeah.
This is where Zah hasn't been paying attention, but just dives in the conversation anyway.
Yeah, no, the DVDs, I used to burn them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I had on tape? I had the 1994 Major League Baseball All-Star Game on tape, and I watched it till it was fucking. Yeah, it was one of the best All-Star games.
Right before the strike, huh?
Right before the strike. You know, Moises Alou hit a double. Tony Gwynn scored. It was in Pittsburgh. I remember it. Fred McGriff hit a 2-run home run to tie it in the ninth off Jose Mesa.
Three River Stadium.
Correct? Yes.
Fred McGriff still chasing 500 hits to this, or
500
500
home
home runs.
Yeah,
490,
493.
493.
He absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame.
Still chasing them.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is 493? Oh, Lou Gehrig.
Is that right?
I think so.
I think, yeah. I heard from Chicago, it's not confirmed, but I think Fred McGriff is the closest active player to get near.
We got it. We
500 home
got
runs.
it. We got it. Jeff D'Lo is the best guy I know. but
I got it.
the fact that he doesn't.
It's not his.
Well, I think it's way too far
enough.
removed from
The fact that he doesn't understand that White Sox Dave just has been cheating the whole time. Like even then, he just Googled the wrong list. It was MLB active home run leads. Is it Crime Dog? Is it Crime Dog? He just Googled the wrong fucking list. Whatever. All right, that was a good.
You got the tournament next week, right?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
I don't know when it will broadcast, but we are recording it over a 3-day period. 2 weeks from yesterday. All right, 2 weeks from today. We'll be in the middle of it.
I think you said he was going to show instead of one at a time, like two at a time this year to do it
To
quicker.
get through it a little quicker.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
I mean, I got a big brain idea. You should just air it. You should be able to pay tickets to go to a theater, and we air it, the transmit live. You get to watch it being taped.
All of Rico's
Can't do it
ideas
here.
today are from like 1985.
What are you talking about?
Basically, you want a pay-per-view. You want a Vince
Yeah, I want to
McMahon this.
pay-per-view it.
You want a WrestleMania this.
Yes.
All right.
God forbid we make money.
Relax. See, you're a little better today, but you've gone from the conditions are favorable for a hurricane. Now you're in a good mood, but you're still a little on edge.
You're knocking me down for making money.
See?
Like my ideas. Like,
All right. So we have several things. We have some baseball we got to talk about because we haven't really talked about baseball. I need to get RA in here. I need to get Biz is in the building right now. I think he's doing a PMT interview. The hockey boys are here, so we need to get them in here because the hockey playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, have started. Smitty, you're a hockey guy, so I'm glad you're here today. So we need to give that sport a little bit of respect and a little bit of due because the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs in all of sports. I really do believe that. Probably the only time I ever get invested in hockey. Last night the Hurricanes killed the Bruins. The Leafs killed the Lightning. The Blues killed the Wild. That's 5-1, 5-0, 4-0. And the Kings beat the Oilers. Today you got the Pens and Rangers starting their playoff series here in the Garden. You got the Capitals and Panthers, the Predators and the Avalanche, and the Stars and the Flames. Just on my rudimentary knowledge of hockey, and I'm going to look now to see who the favorites are for the Stanley Cup. The Avs are the Avs the best team? Is that
Avs or Panthers, I
I
think.
would say the Panthers are really good. I know.
all right? Well, if you want to fill
the
that
Flames
space,
are
I'm
good,
going to
too.
pull. I'm going to pull up the odds to win the Stanley Cup.
Rico,
right
did
here.
you take the Rangers 17-1?
Flames and the Rangers.
I'm on the gonna
Flames are
take
decent.
the Rangers with you just to have
Okay.
someone to pull for. Yeah,
Rangers.
straight bandwagon.
I mean, Tampa Bay, too, you can't count out
No.
at all.
So
Even though
actually,
they got-
one of my good friends
race
go to
last week.
actually is the the salary cap guy for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Crazy.
Nuts.
The Colorado Avalanche are 275 to win it, so that's a pretty strong
Wow.
favorite. The Panthers behind them at 5-1. The Calgary Flames at 6-1. The Maple Leafs plus 850. I kind of like them just because they scored. They went crazy last night. I don't know why. I know they're a
very
team.
inconsistent.
They're a team that they never
Always
win in the
blow it,
spot.
right?
Yeah,
They
they
always
always blow it. The Hurricanes 10-1. The New York Rangers 16-1. We'll give a couple more. The Blues 17-1. The Lightning 17-1. 20-1 for the Penguins and 23-1 for the Edmonton Oilers. So there you go. There is our hockey recap for the day.
I mean, Lightning are going to make that a series, 17-1.
So Lightning, have they won the last two or just one?
Two.
They've won the last two.
They were the 1 seed the year before, and they got swept by the Blue Jackets.
So they won. They've won the last two, and now they're in a. I noticed they were on the road last night, which means they're not as.
The series,
top
I know
four.
the series was like a pick'em series to
Okay.
start, like
Fair enough.
yesterday.
All right.
But the Avs and Panthers are very, very good.
I need RA or somebody to come in here and give hockey some due respect. We need to do that.
We're talking Sixers real quick.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Okay.
It's Ida theory, Ida reverse.
We got an hour to fill, brother. We gotta
Yeah.
stretch this thing out.
I'll give you a little filler because we didn't talk about it the other day. Draymond Green is an asshole. Why is he so good, but he's an asshole?
That's what might be what makes him
I
good.
was going to say that edge. He needs
Every
that edge.
6'6", and he's
He does
guarding
such
7
dumb-
footers.
I talked about it. Like him getting thrown out of that series, I think was the 73 win year, right?
Yeah,
They're up 3.
Yeah.
Cost him that
Changed
season,
everything.
Like, yeah, I know. I mean, he does a lot of these things. And I turned up the volume last night. I was watching the pregame, obviously, and he was going back kind of at Chuck, about different shit, like the officiating and stuff like that. He's strong in his convictions, but I just think he's got to harness. He's so good, but if he just wasn't,
Like if he
didn't
did-
do this dumb shit.
If he didn't, he's one of those guys like maybe a Rodman and Lambeer back in the 80s. That if he didn't have that edge, that asshole to him, would he be as good? I think that question is worth asking.
Makes sense.
Some guys need that little extra. They need that to push them, and they need that to. That's like part of what makes their game their game.
I also think a team like Golden State, when you've got Steph and Clay that are smaller guards, you need like Draymond to be like the hatchet man to defend them and like be the tough guy.
Well, even
and
also
all that. I think that's like part of it.
not just that they're smaller guards. I mean, they're not loud, boisterous guys.
Yeah.
They're just
The Golden Boys,
Yeah. They're just
Which is
out
fine.
there.
But I just think anytime you put yourself in a position where you're going to get tossed and it could cost you the game, that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's got to figure out a way to be the hatchet man, but not get tossed and put his
Right.
team in a bad spot.
He lives on that edge. He lives on that edge. Now, Sixers lose the game. Nothing embarrassing about it. Embiid's out, and
I mean, you could say DeAndre Jordan
is the
going
maybe
minus 22 in 17 minutes. Like that's a
is.
red flag out there.
he is. I
He's a
think
corpse.
I think I saw the stat that his performance last night was the worst playoff player in the history of the league.
Yeah, and I still think it was
What?
worse than that.
No, I think
Yeah.
his plus minus in that short period of time was the worst performance in the playoffs in the history of the NBA since they've been able to be cognizant of these things.
One could say a liability.
One could say that.
And
a
the
weak
fact,
spot.
and the fact that Doc after the game says we're still going to keep starting him no matter what you say or like it's like what are we doing out here? Yeah, Paul Reed fouls out quickly, but at least like give him the opportunity. Maybe he won't. Like it's the only chance you have. Or play small ball with Tobias at 5. I mean the Heat aren't exactly 7-footers out there. Like you could do something.
What's the Embiid prognosis?
Embiid has a concussion, mild concussion, so he's out for at least 5 days, which means he could be ready for Game 3. The orbital fracture,
Oh.
allegedly, like we're not getting the whole story, he could be eligible to come back Game 3 wearing the Phantom of the Process mask. That's the only way they're going to have a chance, obviously.
Yeah, but you lose these.
Yeah, you lose these two, you're basically done. I mean, originally I thought they would look great 6 or 7 with Embiid against the Heat because they do match up well. But I mean, if you're starting out 0-2, it's going to be tough. They somehow sneak Game 2, which I don't think they can. I think if they were going to win 1 of 2 without Embiid, it'd be Game 1. Look at them for series odds before it's announced that Embiid comes back, but I think it's going to be too tall of a.
Yeah, I think the Heat are just it's crazy to say the number 1 seed is low key very good, but I mean the Heat have been one of the most overlooked teams in this whole playoff. When the Sixers got off of their 3-0 run and everybody was kissing their ass, and then the Celtics, what they did, everybody's kissing their ass, and now the Bucks going and beating the Celtics, everybody's kissing their ass. Like the Heat are just sitting there. They were the best team all year long. Maybe we ought to act like they were the best team all year long.
Can Harden go vintage Harden and just go for like 50?
I don't know that he's
what
got it
that-
in his bag.
No,
and
I
that's
mean,
what
I don't. Yeah,
That's
right.
what he did Game 6 against the Raptors. That's what he needed to do last night, and he didn't. I mean,
Well,
he
I'm
didn't go
saying
30,
now,
30,
like,
36.
now-
he needs to be a scorer.
There's more pressure on Game 2. Like, can he pull it out? But yeah, it doesn't sound.
I mean, there's a point. There are points here he tries,
Right.
and he does. He's a good delegator. He does get people open looks, and they just fucking brick. So, he's going to need to play at his Hall of Fame potential level for them to have a chance, especially with Embiid's not out.
he's a Hall of Famer already, right? He doesn't have to do anything to get in the Hall. of
No, he is.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna- no,
he
that's
is,
just a
but he
different
needs to
conversation.
play like a Hall of Famer. He can't be going 3 for 15 for 16, 9, and 6 in a
Like
game where
like
he,
even though his career has tanked and he's a joke now, Westbrook is comfortably in the Hall of Fame.
yes.
You'd agree with that? Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate him, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely in the Hall of Fame. And then the Suns handled the Mavs last night. I'm going to go ahead and lock on my card today. I'm going to go ahead and lock it in just because I want a future to be able to crow about like Rico and his made-up future of Kansas. Chris Paul Finals MVP right now is 8-1. If they get there, he's going to be the sentimental favorite. I think I'm locking in Suns plus 240 today. They've circled back. They're the favorite again. I think the Suns are going to win the championship. I think Chris Paul or Devin Booker will be the Finals MVP.
What's Booker?
Booker's like 450.
Yeah,
not a whole lot of value, but listen, if you want to put 100 on it to win 450, it's there for the taking.
Booker would, if they win it all, they'd be riding him.
I think so, but
yes,
Chris, over these last, I would say Chris Paul was obviously the MVP of the last series.
Oh, yeah.
Booker was out for a couple of games, but the 14 for 14.
Paul, games 1, 3, and 6, he took over all three.
Closeout game, he goes 14 for 14 with 33 points.
Fourth quarter, all three of those games. I mean,
You're saying for Finals MVP?
Yeah.
I wonder if you get a little bit of like a Lifetime Achievement Award type thing too.
That's what I'm saying. Sentimental.
Yeah.
Also, the thing with Paul, when it really matters in the finals, he'll shoot more. He'll score. He always scores when it's really on the line.
Now, the trick to this, the one stopping point, the one obstacle is he does have a history of getting to this moment and not really coming through. So
last year
he was fine, but
Suns in 4.
Last year he was fine, but before that, he has a history of getting here and kind of shitting the bed.
Body kind of is broken down late in the playoffs a bunch of times too.
Suns in 4.
The Milwaukee Bucks will not win a title.
Who said that?
I don't know who said that.
Okay, you guys are you're doing voices now?
I just said Suns in 4.
You said it in a weird voice.
I ain't saying a weird voice.
And then he said his weird voice.
That must have been somebody else.
And then tonight we have two. I think you got two classic home teams bouncing back tonight. You got the Celtics against the Bucks. Celtics are -4.5. The Grizzlies are +2 against the Warriors at home. I think the Grizzlies are going to make this a series.
I took the bait. I took the Warriors.
Why? I mean, it's a fair position. I'm just asking why.
It does seem like everybody, like you, of that mindset, does think 7 like equal. They kind of saw that. Draymond throwing it. I don't know. I'm going to take a shot on the experienced team and roll the dice with the Warriors. So it's a little bit of a contrarian type play.
That's fine. I mean,
yeah, I got you. I'm just
there's nothing that's going to scare the Warriors about being on the road.
Absolutely. I'm just putting it out there. That's all.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Warriors win. It would very much surprise me if the Bucks win.
Yeah, I think that would surprise me more too. I do
what they did to him Sunday.
I think the Celtics
because of what they did to him. Sunday.
Exactly. The Celtics come out firing.
All right.
I think Smart. I think they're going to be all up in their fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Smart's going to be. I can see Smart getting a technical foul like 3 minutes in and just firing in the crowd.
Is he hurt?
Or whoever, just Tatum, whatever, or somebody. He's not a technical foul guy.
I mean,
anyway,
I can see being hurt.
I can see there being some physical. Like they're really going to get up in their shorts.
He's going to play like he dislocated. I think his arm in the last game. I think
Don't you have to kill him to not let?
He might have come back in though. I'm trying to remember now. I honestly kind of like. I think the Celtics. I like the Bucks. I just like if you're going to give me 5 with the Bucks, I'll take it. But I agree with the sentiment. Like I think they'll play better. But
I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
By the way, we're not talking about it, but. It would have been backdoor, but still a tough beat if you had the Mavs last night.
It was
sure.
It would have been backdoor, but it was the backdoor was wide ass open.
But they were there.
They were there.
They kept fouling. Like
kept fouling.
Fouling.
They were inside the number.
They were
late.
at 5. They were at 5, like inside the number, and they fouled with like 7 seconds left. Like, guy, it's over.
And that knocked it to 7. And then they come down. They have 4 seconds left in their last possession, and they get a
wide.
I'm talking about
3,
not
wide open.
Anybody within 10 feet of him, 20 feet of him.
And Dinwiddie, like a guy, like you don't mind shooting that shot.
And he bricks it. Just absolutely bricks it. And that would have covered the number.
Sometimes it's easier when someone's in your face a little bit.
Yeah, there is a little bit of truth to that.
It was brutal too because they fouled so many times. The Suns didn't miss 1 free throw.
But
they just missed 1.
They never blow.
He also had
never blow leads.
One,
They're unreal with leads.
He also had that short arm to that 3. Like, this doesn't matter at all, and he just kind of threw it up there.
After when Luka made the 3, I was like, just stop. It's fucking over.
They kept fouling.
I know Luka scored a lot late when they were down, but the fact that Luka scored 45 and they still didn't really have a chance to win is kind of damning.
Do you see he's got the highest career playoff average right now, tied with Jordan?
Does he really?
That's what I saw.
Yeah. Well, he's a very good player.
I know. It's just amazing to be in that pantheon.
All right, I have a topic that I want to talk about. Yesterday was The Rock's birthday. Dwayne The Rock Johnson's birthday.
Okay.
Before
How
we
old is he?
50 yet?
he turned 50 yesterday.
Wow.
Turned 50 yesterday. Before we get to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who I think is the greatest living human, tell us about the greatest living app.
Yes, and new sponsor, presenting sponsor of Pick Central, Game Time. And what a time to get involved with Game Time. If you have NBA playoff or NHL playoff ticket needs, look no further. Created by fans for fans, Game Time is a new ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and even shows. And they guarantee the lowest price. They crack the code on how to score deals on last-minute tickets. The purchase process just takes 2 taps and 10 seconds total. And once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone, no printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text so you can get into the game seamlessly. So skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app, go to the account tab to create a login, and redeem code CENTRAL for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time, last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed, no better time than now.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson turned 50 yesterday. Now, here's my question. First of all, again, he is my favorite human. Secondly,
Must be nice to be your kids or your wife.
and yet when I come back at him, it's me taking shots.
That's a fair.
It
That's
was a fair shot.
No, you know what I think that
Or
does?
fair shots.
I think that puts you between a rock and a hard
Yeah.
place.
You own one right now?
well, Mincy's over your point. You still think about Roe v. Wade.
He's just
Oh my God. Oh no.
Is it the greatest? Does that man have the greatest career arc in the history of us? Here's my thinking. That man started his career, his life, by playing football for the Miami Hurricanes and winning a national championship. Then he goes and becomes a WWE star, a legend, an awesome, one of the biggest stars in the world just by wrestling. And then he transitioned into the most famous movie actor in the world, The Rock. Is there any career arc that spans as many things and is as good as that? I have a couple of examples.
Well, yeah. So,
I think get close.
right. So to attack this, you need to find somebody like that who's dabbled in a little bit of everything.
Justin Timberlake
That's the one I thought of.
started as a singer in a boy band at the height when boy bands were like the thing.
And he was like the guy.
And he was the guy on a band in a boy band. He then transitioned into a solo artist that reached the top of the game.
Yep.
He was as high as you could get. Then he transitioned, like he hosted Saturday Night Live, and you saw, oh, this guy's got comedic chops. Like
I like him in every movie he's been in. Social Network, Alpha Dogs,
and then he
great in
goes
Social
into
Network.
dramatic acting.
Social
Like
Network.
Justin Timberlake is good at everything he's ever done. That is one career. It's not as good as The Rock's, but it's one.
Right.
Jamie Foxx started as a stand-up comedian.
No thanks. I don't like Jamie Foxx. You shouldn't either. But go ahead.
I understand.
I got a good Jamie Foxx story. Tommy met him.
Stand-up, and then he was in Living Color. Then he was a comedic star, and then he became an Oscar winner for Ray, and now he's a respected actor, and also he has a pretty successful singing career.
I was gonna say, yeah, rap career as well. Rap/singing.
Steve Harvey.
But so Jamie Foxx, up in Minneapolis during Super Bowl week, Eagles, Patriots Super Bowl, where the Eagles winners 43 or 41-33.
Never saw it down in that game.
We we had the Barstool Super Bowl party, which a lot of people were there. Very, very packed. Very, very fun event. Me and Caleb, a little inebriated, went to like find a room to just like get out of the crowd for a second. So we found this room, and there was like a catered spread and everything.
Sure,
Like, oh, okay, we'll hang out here for a second. Door opens a little bit later. It's Jamie Foxx with like 5 of his crew. And he walks in, Caleb and I have like a sandwich in our hands, like just looking, and it's like, oh shit, that's Jamie Foxx. He's obviously just looking to get away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
He comes in, sits down, and I just go, Steamin' Willie Beeman. And he just goes, well, stands right up, walks out.
That's a very Smitty story.
Steven Willie Beeman.
Just walked out.
Just walked out. Was there for maybe 5
He
seconds.
just wasn't doing Willie Beeman.
He's like, no, not
It's actually
no, not right now. Not right now.
hysterical. Well, he's an asshole. That makes sense.
I'm done. All right.
He's an
It's on-
asshole.
it's on me.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't want to deal with that either.
I wouldn't want to put him in my ads. I'm just saying.
Can you just not just having a? And then Steve Harvey, comedian, Kings of Comedy. Then he becomes the MC for everything.
Steve Harvey's a stretch.
Steve Harvey, he's not nowhere
wouldn't
near the
say-
rock stratosphere. I'm talking about careers that
Yeah.
like had multiple things.
I wouldn't say he's nearly as beloved
You
as.
know how much money he makes now? Like doing Family Feud in his own talk
Yeah.
show?
You know how much of an asshole he is?
I've never heard that he's an asshole. Is he an asshole?
Read the letter that he wrote to his employees.
Yeah, I'd
It's
heard that.
Dr. Phil level.
His daughter's a smoke.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Future was fucking her for a while.
Rock does like some philanthropic stuff. Is that the right word?
Philanthropic.
Philanthropic.
Philanthropy or
Philanthropy.
philanthropic.
Yeah, right. So like that puts you in a
Just
pantheon.
got corrected by Ben Mintz.
All right, all right.
Word.
Philanthropic as well.
I didn't feel good going in there.
I didn't have that one in my bag.
I didn't test. I was testing the water. That puts you in the pantheon of like ultimate too, right? So The Rock does that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that to me, he's the top.
He seems like a great guy.
I think if you make a certain level of income, you automatically do that.
No, but what I meant
They
is
do it for you.
his thing is like somebody who we're just okay and then put themselves in a stratosphere. I also think you could be that doing it like being an entrepreneur. Like if Justin Timberlake invented an app, or you know what I mean, or was the founding guy, like got in on Uber early. You know what I mean? Like
Invented
I think-
Napster.
I tell you what, you know what we're seeing right now? We're seeing a guy who started out as an entrepreneur and an inventor and all this, and now he just bought Twitter. Like he might become one of probably the most famous person in the world. Elon Musk, it might be.
I mean, he's the richest.
Yeah. That's fine. But
Joe
to
Rogan
me,
called
that's a whole
superhero
different
the other day.
aspect of
Joe
like,
Rogan is a good one.
This is
Rogan
like
called
show
Elon Musk a
business.
superhero.
Chat has two. Number one, Mark Wahlberg.
Fair enough. All right, started out as
So-
Marky Mark, and then yeah.
Huge. And go watch his Bill Burr stand-up that he does on him, Arnold Schwarzenegger, about his rise. I mean, you
Goes from
can't start off in weightlifting and
goes
end
from
up the biggest
Mr. Olympia,
super,
and then becomes a
actor in
governor.
the world, and then becomes
Yeah.
a governor. Yes.
You don't usually. I thought you would. You usually cover the list more. You usually don't have like major misses. I'm surprised you missed Wahlberg.
This
fine.
was a discussion topic.
Hey, Arnold, I think could be number one.
I have two more to add that
Arnold's great.
I don't know their past because these guys are older, but Tom Osborne and Tuberville both going from big football coaches to senators. I don't know what their background was like way back in the
I
day,
mean,
though.
if you're going to talk about that, like you got to talk about Trump. I mean, the guy was a real estate mogul, TV star,
Yeah,
president.
I mean Trump's
I got one.
top
for the,
three.
I got one for the people. Caitlyn Jenner,
was going from man to
Olympic gold medal.
male to Catholic. Yeah,
Wheaties
Quote
box.
unquote, the man.
TV star, like massive TV star.
I got a good one too. J-Lo. Going from
some
a fly
backup
girl
dancer. Yeah,
in Living Color.
See, now we're moving. Now we got some discussion going.
I mean,
Arnold probably. Arnold didn't even speak the language when he came over here.
I mean Oprah too, obviously.
I think it's Arnold, Rock, Trump. Not in that order, but I think those are your top three.
But I don't think Oprah was ever like. Was Oprah ever superstar status like some of these
First
celebrities?
of all, Oprah was
Oh, yeah.
superstar,
Yeah.
but she never diversified. Like she was Oprah the whole time. She never really changed. Like she started as a talk show host,
Right.
ended as a talk show.
Right.
if Rock like ran for president, he'd be the all.
Yeah, I guess it's somebody like, oh, he's doing that, and that's what it does seem like with The Rock.
I'm telling you right now, if The Rock runs for president, I'm voting for him. I'm just going to do that. That's I don't care what. I'm voting for The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But it better say The Rock on the signs because I want one of the signs.
Didn't he have to like earn his way up too through the WWF? Like, what? He wasn't a
when
born
he
and made
came in-
star right away.
He wasn't a star at Miami. He was
Lucky
back up to
Maivia.
Warren Sapp.
Yeah, I knew that.
When he came in, they thought he'd be at a high level, and he failed, and he went back down the card a little bit. They turned him to a bad guy, and
Nation.
he,
NOD.
yeah, he went crazy. As soon as they turned him into a bad guy, it was over. All right. 888. No, we don't have calls today.
That's interesting. Good topic.
Thank you very much. It's nice to get a little credit once in a while.
It's a good topic.
I'll throw another one out there. Dave Portnoy.
He started out as an asshole,
Your quote, not mine.
and then he turned into
Started out as a salesman. Well, no, he started out as a Triple Crown winner in high school.
yes, and then was schlepping newspapers, and
then a salesman.
then built all this. So obviously, I have
selling newspapers and then
tremendous respect for what he did.
I think the next thing, like if he does buy a piece of a team or something like, you know what I mean, then it's like that's a whole other stratosphere.
Yeah.
Which I think is still possibly on the table.
Like the
Who knows?
Barstool Fund put him in a.
That also, but like I'm just saying, like he's a sports guy. He now all of a sudden he's buying a piece of a team. That's
Does the chat have anybody else?
they had Arnold, Ben Franklin.
I think. I think.
Will Smith.
Will Smith is a great
Will
one.
Smith is a very good
Will Smith's a fan. He went from
Just hurt himself though.
yeah, well, he did, but he went from fucking
I mean, he could end here.
Ice Cube,
good ending.
Ronald Reagan, old school. but
Ronald Reagan, or
The actor?
is a good one.
You think anybody? He will. Ben's probably not. You think he gets this?
I know that he did act.
I knew that he
Yeah,
did
I knew
act.
that.
You think?
I don't know what
Do
he
you
was
know who
doing.
Emmett
got-
Brown is?
No,
Exactly.
no.
I got it.
I was more doing the Family Guy version of it when Peter was like the actor. Oh, Peter, you're the one from the future. Okay.
One that I think could be one is
O.J. Simpson.
MGK. He's done some acting now and he's really fucking good. And I think he's gonna blow up as an actor.
O.J. Simpson was one until he
Jay-Z going into agent stuff too.
O.J. Simpson. James Cameron didn't want O.J. Simpson for the Terminator role because he would have been unconvincing as a murderer.
Zaw said the Paul brothers.
Zod definitely didn't say that. TJ said that.
Zaw said Jake
No,
Paul.
I did. I said that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
TJ, do you want to
Honestly,
say
pretty.
TJ? Do you want to say Ninja or Mr. Beast? One of your heroes?
DJ, just list
Yeah,
your
my
guys.
heroes.
Greg Schiano.
Honestly,
Go ahead.
YouTuber to like TV actor to fucking
Foxx?
Marco
Jake
Battaglia.
The Paul brothers are a good one for real. Yeah.
Like they literally like Jake Paul was literally like a Disney. He was a YouTuber, like legit
Yeah.
Disney actor.
Like
They were
they're
Viners.
headlining fights.
Like Viners. Now the guy's making $40-50 million a year to box.
They're
And,
changing the
you,
sports world.
you watch your mouth. Mr. Beast and Ninja are like some of the most popular people on the planet.
Mr. Beast is like the.
I'm just making fun of TJ because
Your kids must like
Make
Mr.
fun of
Beast.
TJ.
I told
Thomas
Brandon
Walker
about
loves
that
Mr.
poker
Beast.
I say
thing.
they must. Everyone does.
They're
get
single.
it.
They're single-handedly might start a poker boom again.
They really are
It's
about to save the
amazing.
poker world.
They tell me I get home. Tommy has a Mr. Beast story every day, every single fucking day.
They're like they're so big. Well, he's so big. He literally he does his videos in like 12 different languages.
Yeah,
Like,
he's,
they're
like,
like-
he's almost got 100 million.
They're like
YouTube
Brazilian
subscribers.
channel
Like
has
94
like
million.
millions
He
of
did a
views.
Squid
It's
Game
or millions of-
reenactment that got more views than Squid Game.
Who did this?
Mr. Beast, preposterous.
I don't know him.
Yeah, dude, he's got 94 million YouTube.
You will.
subscribers
You
for
will
Cap.
soon.
Exactly. He
He's
doesn't
like-
call
he's
into
like-
WFAN.
He's like 23. He's insane.
Jesus.
He literally like
Christ.
runs.
No, he gets we get to take shots at you too.
Yeah, I get it, but
We get to take shots at you too.
right, people can have different interests. Like, all right, geez.
He is quite possibly the most famous YouTuber
All right.
in the world.
He actually also, he went on Rogan. It actually was fascinating to hear him talk.
All right. Who are
We just covered my YouTube history. I'm searching for lost VHS tapes of high school games.
the most famous YouTubers? PewDiePie.
Mr. Beast has got to be.
Ryan's
Balls.
Toy Review.
Ryan-
Makes the
oh,
most
God.
money.
That
He's a little
motherfucker.
kid that opens toys. He's the most profitable YouTuber.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because all of his
Ryan's-
videos are approved for
And then
advertising.
If you
because
go to
they're
Target,
kids.
if you go to Target or Walmart, there's like Ryan's surprise eggs just all over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that kids just want them.
Tell you what,
Good for him.
I had to
It's an
build.
empire.
I had to build one of those. I forget what the red cars, wherever the coupe cars.
Cozy Coop.
Cozy coupe. Holy shit! I'm gonna start streaming just building toys because that was the most frustrating. How do these people sleep at night?
I just gave up.
Yeah, I was punching the fucking thing, and then the wife's like, "It's not that hard," and she starts doing, and we start arguing. There are literal parts to that thing that just don't fit.
I will
Just don't fit.
I will go into a store, and if they got something like a dollhouse or something. Last time I did it was a grill. I said, can I please buy the display model? I will pay you extra. I will give you $50 extra right now, me to you, if you let me take that.
That
one.
work
It's already.
usually?
I got my grill last time from Home Depot a couple years ago. I was like, please give me that one. I do not want to put this thing together.
The grills are starting to come out like summer. For
Grills
that.
are easy to build.
Having worked a couple of summers at Target, like mid-June, July, they start going clearance,
Yeah.
and you get it for the rest of the summer. But yeah, buy the display model. Fuck that.
All right, back to sports. Baseball. The Yankees have won 10 in a row. I don't want to talk about the Yankees but they have won 10 in a row.
They're red hot.
Getting their winning streak out early.
Heavy topic on hot ice today. Yeah, beating the shit out of bad teams.
Two best teams in baseball. I know the
They
Mets.
just beat the Blue Jays last night.
I know the Mets lost to the Braves last.
Yeah, and now they're in the transition. They're a very good team.
Best record in the league.
The
It's
Mets-
Cole not playing his best baseball.
Does he still have his good baseball?
I don't know. We're gonna find
Pitched
out.
really good his last start.
Yeah, he did okay, but
All right, the best two teams in the league are the Yankees and the Mets.
yeah.
New York is the center of the baseball world for right now.
May the
I mean, Mets fans just being cocky. It's gonna happen at some point.
Well, the Braves are going to get out of the cellar.
Braves are gonna win.
The Braves and the Phillies both have losing records. I don't think that's going to last. The Marlins will fade a little bit, and the
Mets are
probably
playing phenomenal ball right now. Phenomenal ball. Good
Yeah,
for them.
and the Braves just walked in there and beat them last night.
They're gonna beat them today too.
That was a pretty funny moment in that game, that foul ball that the guy hit, between Bassett and the old A's teammates. That ball that got
Olsen,
hit. Olsen hit the ball to like the top of the stadium, and then Bassett just started laughing on the mound.
So the Yankees have the best record in baseball, 17-6. The Mets are at 16-8. In the AL East, the Blue Jays are kind of right there with them. They're 15-9. They're a good team. The Twins in the Central, 14-9. The White Sox suck.
Yes.
They were supposed to be.
They're beat up. They're hurt. I have a confession to make though.
Please.
The Reds are what, 3-17?
Maybe the worst team.
I have bet on two. I've bet against them in 2 of their wins.
Yeah, that happens.
Wow.
The first series against the Braves.
That happens. It is what it is.
Weren't they pretty good? They just lost everyone in the offseason?
Well, 2 years ago they were
2 years ago,
Traded
yeah.
everybody else.
Traded
everybody.
Winkler, Castanedos left.
Who are you waving at?
MB. Top rider. I'll always say hello to MB.
She wasn't even looking at you.
Okay. But I will never not say hello. I'd rather not get waved back at than her go, oh, he didn't say hello.
Do you find it egotistical that you rank people by how much they like you?
No. All right, first off, even if she wasn't, she's one of the
Top
best.
right, you called her a top rider.
Yeah. But that's why I never miss an opportunity to say hello. But one of the best people here.
I don't discount that, but you don't rank her high because she's one of the best people here. You rank her high because she's a top rider.
Nah. All right, you're right. I should start saying it the reverse way.
Yeah, say
Being a top rider is the icing on the cake.
she's a terrific person.
She is.
All right. In the AL West, the Angels 15-9. They lead. The Astros and Mariners at 12-11. The Mets 16-8. The Brewers are 15-8. And the best division in baseball right now, and probably will be all year. The Dodgers 14-7. The Padres 15-8. The Giants 14-8. And the Rockies 13-9.
Rockies are a surprising team. Rockies, I think, second in the league in on-base percentage. I saw a stat the other day. Scroll by.
Y'all know who right now today is leading the league in home runs?
Yeah.
So.
Do you know who's second?
Buxton.
Buxton's third. Buxton has 7 home runs. There's a group: Riley, Schwarber, Buxton, Ramirez from Cleveland, and Alvarez from Houston. They have 7. C.J. Cron for the Rockies has 8 home runs.
He's a good ball player.
And Rizzo 9, and then Aaron Judge 8.
I had Cron in a home run pool last year. Of course, he's doing it this year.
Yeah, Rizzo's. I mean, it's been hammered, but Rizzo's home runs are little league pop outs.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're home runs, Smitty.
Home runs in Yankee Stadium because you guys.
That's why we traded for him.
You have a Little League Stadium.
He's built to hit home runs at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I mean, every
Well,
team we play against, they have the same opportunity.
He's
as
a left-hander and he's breathing. Is what you're saying.
His reaction to
Same
hitting one out, where he swings the bat, he looks at it, he's like, "Oh, motherfucker," and then he's like, "Oh shit," and runs. It's hilarious. You gotta find that comical.
It's the best. I'd prefer that over a 500-foot home run.
King of the Short Porch shirt's on sale.
Also, the Yankees announcers did it again last night.
Sterling.
Listen,
Is he losing it?
Yeah.
He's
been losing.
I lost it.
He's-
It's been lost.
everyone gambles in here, right? There's a gambling show. You hit all your picks.
I think there's a difference in picking a game before the game or watching a ball and saying
It's
it's
just the defiant thing of like, well, he didn't throw the ball back. It's like, yeah, he did.
The ball was in the air. He took a shot. He
Susan didn't want to say it too. So Susan's like,
he caught it.
they're like, why'd he call it out? Well, because he caught the ball, John. Like it's just
man.
two of them are like
tough.
two people you like spy on at a bench, like in a mall. I feel like you sit down at one bench and they're at the next bench, like fighting, just an older couple, and you're like, this is entertaining. Like that.
Now you have to let them ride it out.
No, I don't mind it.
Yeah, they
honestly, this time it was fortunately, it was on the other end. Like it was a Blue Jays home run that wasn't a home run. Every other time it was a Yankees.
It's a Yankee home run. Yeah. No, I agree. They should die in the booth before you replace them.
Harry Callis did.
Yeah.
Literally.
when did he die?
09.
He did both the Phillies and the Eagles, right? He was the long time.
No.
Oh no, the Eagles
did-
got that guy with that terrible voice. I hate that.
Merrill Voice, who has a voice of the guy.
I hate that.
This guy. It's
Go
good.
the Eagles! Yeah, I hate that.
Harry
fucking-
Callis did a lot of NFL films work,
That's right.
and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I remember that too.
They had to get rid of Bob Murphy for the Mets. He shit his pants in the booth. He was getting up
What
there
happens in the
age.
booth in these places?
He was.
He wasn't in the bathroom yesterday.
No, he was old. He was shit his pants. That's the rumor.
HK just a massive coronary attack
Yeah.
for the Nationals game one day. It's not funny. They played the game too. I was shocked.
Oh my God.
I don't remember that. I don't
Yeah,
know why. I don't
early
remember.
2009 after
I should
won the
remember
World
that.
Series.
Yeah, he was a legend.
Gonna shit
Oh, yeah.
himself.
That's what Murphy. That was the rumor. Murphy. Yeah.
God.
All right. So, I have my baseball, my rock, my NHL, my My basketball. I guess we can get back to basketball. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Do you have any thoughts on all this NIL stuff that people are bitching about?
I think people have got to stop being over dramatic. Yeah, it's changing. It's changing a lot, and it's changing quickly, but it's not dying. There's a difference between dying and changing. All college football needs is a centralized leader. I would love to see like a Greg Sankey go from SEC commissioner to Mark Emmert's job next year. I don't know. I mean, the SEC commissioner might be more powerful than NCAA commissioner, but somebody in the NCAA needs to step up and say, you know what, players are going to get paid and they can transfer wherever they want, but there has to be some regulations.
Like there needs to be like deadlines.
There was a report.
Kind of like deadlines or something.
There was a report that Xavier Worthy, who didn't enter the transfer portal, was contacted by another team with a multi-million-dollar offer for NIL. Like, I understand if guys are in the portal, give them whatever offer they get, but I don't know that we need to live in a world where NFL teams can't just an NFL team can't just call Cooper Kupp tomorrow and say, "Hey, come over here. We're going to give you $10 million more."
But see, they can call a coach and do that in college.
They can't call a Kupp, but I'm
leave in
just
a
saying
second.
there has to be some limits on how you can't. I don't think there should be a world where you can just up and call a player that's on another team who hasn't gone in the transfer portal. If he goes in the portal, fine, whatever, all bets are off. But just call him and saying, "Hey, go in the portal. We're going to give you."
Yeah, but you say that, but that's been going on forever with AAU coaches. Trainer,
AAU's a different animal.
Just saying, guys working out like a pro that he went to his like elite camp. Same with college. Like you can get in a guy's ear without directly calling him. You can separate it.
You make a good point. Like basically make like a tampering type thing.
Yeah,
I think Mitzi makes a good point. Like there should be deadlines, like a specific deadline.
Like dead
on it.
period.
There are deadlines. I mean, there's a deadline. We're coming up on a deadline right now. I think
it's after spring. This is the post-spring practice.
Right.
People freaking out about jobs after that.
you got to transfer
right now.
before. If you want that year of free eligibility, and if you transfer after May 1st or whatever the date is, May 3rd, May 5th, if you transfer after that, you're gonna have to sit out a year.
No,
So
I think stuff like that is fair. I think stuff putting in simulations like
What
that.
about
I'm behind that too. You know why? Because the magazines. Get the magazines set. Don't be adding shit left and right here.
What about this is gonna? I don't know what people are saying on this. What about like a salary cap, like max for top players? But then
I think that will set itself. That'll set itself. Like this $8 million Tennessee quarterback that's in high school. If he sucks, they ain't going to be able to give anybody $8 million anymore. That's going to set itself.
Yeah, I don't agree with like a salary cap. I just think it's like, what are you going to put a salary? You put a salary cap on coaches then too.
Right.
That's what
I'm just asking.
No, it's fair to pose.
They should have
just think,
colluded.
like,
I said it yesterday. They should have colluded to get a salary cap. They're never going to get it on the books.
Hey, I have an actual question. So public colleges like the University of Alabama, where Nick Saban's the highest paid employee of the state, where's that NIL money coming from?
So what's happening is at every college, they're getting these collectives, right? They're getting their biggest money boosters all getting together and pooling all their money, and they're stamping an LLC on it. And they're calling it a legit corporation.
So
Really,
it's not coming from the taxpayers.
Really, no.
No.
It's just booster money. That's all it is, and they're calling it legit by stamping an LLC on it and saying we're a collective. I think Tennessee's got one on what it is.
So it's like
Ole Miss is the Grove Collective.
So it's like a super
I know
PAC.
the people.
It's a super PAC. That's all it is. They're getting booster money together and they're dispersing that money to players. And the biggest booster clubs, the biggest like Texas A&M just had the #1 recruiting class, and Jimbo's like, oh, you know what? We didn't spend a whole lot of money. Yeah, you did. You spent more money than everybody. Like it's obvious that you spent more money than everybody. But it's going to. The reason I think it's going to correct itself, and it's going to fix itself because there are no slam dunks in recruiting. You think there are, but there's not. Like Georgia got to the top of the sport. They became Alabama by recruiting like it. They recruited the #1 class in 2018 and 19, and that's why they just set a record for most players drafted. But the thing is, 2018 and 19, when Georgia was #1, #2 in the country in recruiting, Texas was #3 both years. They didn't have a draft pick last week. You have to be able to develop. You have to be able to find the right guys. You can't just eventually, if you just spend, like Tennessee's had a top 10 class every year for the last decade, hasn't meant a goddamn thing. Texas, top 10 class every year last decade, hasn't been a goddamn thing. If you only spend and don't have the coaching staff and you don't have the built-in infrastructure, you're going to fail and waste a lot of fucking money.
The other part to add on to that is when you recruit the high school seniors and you give them hundreds of thousands, everybody just transfers after 1 year now. So you give all this money to these recruits to come in, and then they just transfer.
My question,
that's good. I mean,
I think the next thing we're going to face is game day holdouts. I think the Tennessee quarterback this year is an All-American hopeful. He's a Heisman hopeful, Hendon Hooker. He just saw that they're giving a high school senior, a 5-star high school senior, a quarterback from California, $8 million to come to Tennessee. What happens the morning of September 20, whatever, they're about to play Florida, Hendon Hooker calls the coach and says, you know what, I'm going to need that $8 million too, and if I don't get it, I ain't playing today.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to happen. It might not happen exactly with Hendon Hooker, exactly with Tennessee. It's going to happen.
Right.
If a fucking star player sees a high school senior getting more than him, what the fuck what's he going to go out and bust his ass for just to give it to this next 18-year-old kid? That's going to happen.
That's a
An
fascinating
education.
thought.
We're going to see teams not take the field. We're going to see teams get close, and now they'll pay them, and but we're going to see this maybe the week leading up to a game.
Mysterious injuries.
But do you think, even though obviously, listen, obviously everyone knows 90% of these guys aren't going to play in the league, but do you think the illusion, because every kid that plays at a big time power program, they all at least think they're going to go to the NFL, have a chance. Do you think the illusion of that will be able to keep them from doing something that drastic?
I don't think so.
Because I think someone like that almost I don't want to say it would make him undraftable, but it would be a bad look if
the power
shows up one day. I agree with you because it makes a lot of sense for a kid like that, honestly, to do that.
The power of life-changing money in the NFL is something else. And boy, that's great. That's awesome. But the power of right now money,
It's fair.
The power of right now money is the strongest power in finance. Like if you get right now money, that you think you've made it.
We're not talking about $80,000. We're talking about $8 million.
No, big money for sure.
Life-changing, set for.
He doesn't have to go to the NFL to have a great life.
Exactly.
To Mincy's point, though, do you blame these schools after being, I don't know.
No, I mean,
you blame these kids for fucking these schools after they got fucked for so many years of basically using 4 different schools as an ATM? I would transfer. I get paid up front, but I got no attachment to the school, and then I transfer. That's a new ATM. That ATM's full.
Let's talk Jordan Addison. Let's talk Jordan Addison from Pitt. Jordan Addison won the Blitnikoff last year, has developed into a great wide receiver, and apparently is getting, reports are, $3 million from USC to go to USC. If I'm Jordan, you can't blame Jordan Addison for taking that money.
Capitalism.
Right.
I blame him for trying to transfer again, too.
I'm telling
use somebody else.
I'm trying to get him to match it.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh, Pitt, I think, did match it, and they're still going to go. But it's a wild fucking scene. Now, the problem with college football isn't that it's changing or evolving. It's that it's changed. It's had about 30 years worth of changes in about a year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They also overdue, yeah.
They were also overdue that they're doing every change right now, and it looks like a tornado's coming through right now, and afterwards we're gonna have to pick up the pieces from the storm. But I think it'll be fine.
A lot of these old coaches hate it too, and are dying. You're seeing a lot of.
And these are coaches that for 30 years have been paying players under the table and have succeeded, and they're like, well, why is it?
It's completely changed college basketball. Like I said, I don't see a lot of lifer guys like this. You'll have a guy who's like, oh yeah, he's pretty good, like Chris, but I don't think these guys are getting to that statuesque type thing because the kids hold the power. Just the way it goes.
Let's just not forget the free education these kids are getting.
Also, and usually John Calipari, he came out yesterday and said we're not guaranteeing any money.
Yeah, that's a bad move.
First of all, it's also a lie. Kentucky's been guaranteeing money for
1,000%.
prospects for fucking years.
Right.
Yeah, like
John Calipari's been guaranteeing money for 30 goddamn years.
He says that until the number one recruit wants the money, he's going to get it in a second.
Sure, but I just and Derrick Rose got nothing.
Well, I mean, it's a tough thing to say because people are guaranteeing money, and he's saying
John Calipari's full of shit. He's a liar. He's always been a liar.
Without a doubt. But that's a tough thing to say when people are guaranteeing money. So
no, it's a very tough thing, and he's so accustomed to being a bullshit artist and a liar that he's
always been ahead of it too.
He's even lying when he can do it legally. All right, so we need to get to picks. We have 2 minutes.
Interesting discussion, though.
It was an interesting discussion. Thank you for bringing it up, Smitty. You're a good guy.
Thank you.
The picks?
Yeah, we're gonna do the picks. You okay?
Yeah.
I gotta see who's in first place.
Megan. No, Mincy.
Oh yeah, my moment in the sun 2 days into the month, boys. Watch out.
All right, lead us off, Mincy.
I'm leading us off today. I've got a few picks I took in the NBA. I took the bounce back on the Memphis Grizzlies +2.
What a weird stall that was.
Yeah, I was trying to remember my picks because they're not on the screen. But I took Memphis +2. I do feel like Golden State is going to be happy winning one of the two in Memphis and getting it back to Memphis, and I think the Grizzlies will fight hard at home. I'm going to add Boston. I was between Boston or nothing, but I agree that this is a solid bounce-back game 2 situation. Baseball, I know I have the Detroit Tigers -148, and I have 2 more, and I'm going to have to look at my text and get them real quick. I'll be super quick.
Well, we'll get back to you. Smitty.
Big Phillies tonight. Rangers Suarez over K's. Phillies -1.5. Phillies over 4.5 runs. Clevinger returns to Cleveland.
For the Padres.
For the Padres. I had that wrong, TJ. Put the Padres money line. Clevinger over K's. A couple other K's props. Bryce Wilson under K's. Please Sack under K's for the Indians, and bet with Smitty. It's a Phillies parlay, and I'm probably going to add the Celtics later.
What am I replacing?
The Guardians money line should be Padres money line.
Did you hear the Clevenger story?
Yeah, it's wild.
The airplane thing.
Yeah.
Big F.
All right,
He's
so
crazy as it is. I can't imagine how off his rocker he was before that.
I didn't hear this, but
We'll get to that. We don't have time for the story.
I got the Braves in game 1 money line. They're plus 102. I'm on the Yankees money line as well, plus money. I'm on the Cardinals tonight, and I'm on the 2 dogs in the NBA. I've been fucking cold, but I'm riding the 2 dogs. I went the 2 dogs last night. They both lost.
All right, I got the home teams bouncing back and splitting these series. Celtics minus 4.5. Grizzlies plus 2. Grizzlies Suns over 227.5. Did I say Suns? Grizzlies Warriors. Excuse me. I did tell you Suns. Grizzlies Warriors. That's my mistake. And then because the reason I was thinking Suns, I'm locking in these 2 picks right here. Suns to win the NBA Finals plus 240, and Chris Paul to win Finals MVP plus 800. I want to lock those in, put those out there publicly. And Rico Bosco finishes off.
that would be a fun bet. You get parts of 2 teams and make up an over. I do like that. Giants money line late. No runs in the first inning. Minnesota, Baltimore. The Warriors minus 2, and Flames, Avs money line parlay. They are huge favorites. You're laying only a little juice here with the money line minus 110.
My only 2 pictures, the Marlins minus 1.5 plus 130, and I actually took Toronto because it's weird that they're a favorite tonight after the Yankees 110 in a row.
All right, Shit Court is about to be in session. We are about to find out the results of the Yak investigation. The Yak is up next.